What's going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard at Graybeard Gaming Group. Today is Monday, August 31st, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. If you happen to be new here, hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. If you enjoyed this, take a quick second and hit that like button as well. It really does help us out. And finally, as most of you know, we are currently having a giveaway of an Xbox One S or a PlayStation 4 Pro. All you need to do to enter is subscribe to our channel here, or you can follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine, and we will be announcing the winner on November 5th of this year. And as always, keep in mind, watching our content is not a requirement to win. Only watch the things you may enjoy. That's why we give you the option to enter the contest via Twitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Having said that, let's get into today's video. So last Friday, we put out a video in regards to some news and updates that are going on in the game right now. There was an audio issue, so unfortunately, we had to pull the video. So in today's video, we're going to be covering some things that happened over the weekend, and at the end, we'll do a recap of the things we discussed last Friday that had to do with the end of last week. One final thing before we get into it, we have finally started a clan on PC. The footage is actually from our new character there, and as you can see, it is the GB Brigade. For those of you who have been asking for this, thank you guys so much for being patient. It's been just kind of a crazy 2-3 weeks. Again, please keep in mind this is a casual gaming environment. All skill levels are welcome. Now, typically I do play on Xbox, however, over the next few days I need to level up my character to level 40, get myself out of New York back to DC so I can actually participate in the PTS. And as I say that out loud, I sincerely hope there's not a progression blocker in regards to the Keener mission, so I guess we'll see what happens. And on that note, my friends, we are going to get into our first topic of the day, which is the blue screen errors / crashing for PlayStation players. Guys, it's just been a terrible hot mess, and we were inundated with messages over the weekend. Not only that, if you've actually seen some of my most recent videos, you know that I just started a clan on PlayStation, which means I started a new character, and in the last, I would say, 3 attempts in trying to play this game, I've probably had about 15 blue screens. And for those of you that have had to deal with that for a long time, you have my sincerest sympathies. I mean, I've only had to deal with it once, and I had the option of just dropping that and jumping onto either PC or Xbox. And the other problem people are having is the fact that, when it happens, their job is to report it to customer service, but when you don't hear anything back or you hear the same, "I'm sorry, we're working on it," it doesn't really give you the incentive to keep trying. And that is why, my friends, this week, in my opinion, is so important to this game, because they need to get this new content right, they need to get the PTS right, and they need to really start to listen to the community, because, again, that is what is going to keep this game going. And as we continue, I want to take a quick second and mention the fact that I have had so much fun starting a new character on PC. Now, the footage you're seeing on the screen right now is from my Xbox character, but going back to the PC one, when I started just, brand new agent, all this stuff, I had forgotten how much fun that game is when you actually have something to look forward to. And having said that, one of the things people obviously look forward to in a looter shooter is having the ability to improve their loot and the chances of decent loot dropping. Which brings me to our next topic, my friends, which is Rainbow Loot and what is actually going to be happening in the PTS. Now, most of you already know this, but the entire focal point of the last state of the game was Rainbow Loot and how major changes were coming with Title Update 11. During that state of the game, they put up a graphic showing the fact that the first attribute of any item would match the core attribute, so it would be red for red, blue for blue, so on and so forth. They also made the unfortunate comment that they would guarantee 100% of the time that those two things would match, and as we know at this point, my friends, everything has changed. Now, the next day, a tweet was put out by Nicky Cuppins, and he is the senior game designer over at the Division 2. It reads, "After further consideration, we will lower the sotg suggested 100% chance of the first random attribute matching the core attribute color to reduce rainbow loot because of the impact that has on build flexibility. The new value will be tested on PTS." Now, needless to say, people on social media were very upset at the fact that, less than 24 hours after you say something, you've already changed it. And in my opinion, the reason why people were so upset so quickly was, I think for the first time in a long time, gamers actually thought they were being listened to. Now, on the 28th, Nikki went on to say it would indeed eliminate rainbow loot, but the goal is to reduce it without too much negative consequence. At a 100%, certain items would cease to exist, and that hurts build flexibility too much. A middle ground would allow for items to go full color in different ways. Now, unfortunately, this really strikes a nerve for a lot of gamers because in this community, people feel like the majority is not listened to at all. And while I feel like this is a mess that could have totally been avoided, I sincerely appreciate the fact that Nikki actually put out a tweet telling us what's going on. You have all heard me say before, I know that they want to see this game succeed. It is a direct representation of their work. At this point, I hope they're given the time and the resources to get it there. Which brings us to another point of conversation that a lot of people have been asking about is what is the future going to be for this game? Not only the Division 2, but will there be a Division 3 and just really everything moving forward? So a quick summary is this. We know that most of the original team that was on the Division 2 have been pulled to work on the new Avatar game. And the thing is, we've known that for a while, but the reality for Ubisoft in the Avatar game is that they need to get it right. Like, that franchise is too big and too powerful to get it wrong. And that's our first issue, is that a lot of the team that originally started this are no longer there. So this is the secondary team coming in. And it's the same thing as someone starting a race and then you're having to jump in mid-race and figure everything out. It's not a simple thing. And I know people want to point fingers and blame other people and all this and that and whatever, but the reality is in this industry, when you take over a game midstream that was in a direction and you're then told halfway through you've got to change the direction, that is no easy task, especially with what's going on in the world right now. Now, moving forward for the last part of this conversation, I'm just going to talk in generalizations. I'm going to use terms like, business and whatever, you'll get the point. But the point is that business is what is driving this entire thing, the business model itself. Therefore, how do I put this? There's a certain entertainment company that happens to be spending more money on a certain game that the game is actually making right now. And this game has X amount of time to start really earning a profit, or it could easily be left in the dust. And hypothetically, if I was talking about this game, I would sincerely hope that the developers and the game designers get the time and the resources they need to turn this game around and turn it into what we all know it can be. Alright, so now let's move on to some good stuff in regards to Title Update 11. We know we're going to be getting a lot of information this Wednesday. We also know we're going to be getting the PTS breakdown, when it's going to happen, how long it's going to happen, and what we can expect during that time. One question that was commonly asked over the last few days was, is there an actual new exotic weapon in the new content, or is it something they're pulling from the Iron Horse raid that's going to be available? And with doing some research, we were able to get some answers. I actually just reached out to two other content creators that I'm fans of, Born to Game and Epic Slayers. They both pretty much said the same thing. They're not bringing the Regulus out of the raid. It will be a new Skyscraper exclusive exotic tied to a crafting quest. And I personally think that is fantastic. I've been saying for months, for things like the Eagle Bearer or the Ravenous or the Regulus, they should have other ways of getting these weapons, so a crafting quest sounds awesome. I mean, the thing is, it gives people who don't have time for raids the ability to get things normally that they wouldn't be able to get, and it's your incentive for actually getting back to the game because you want to grind for that end goal. So that again is one more thing we have to look forward to with Title Update 11, and I think that's pretty much going to do it for this video, my friends. As I said, Wednesday is going to be a big day. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, we will have a build video for you on Tuesday, we will have the State of the Game recap on Wednesday, and then probably a second build video on Thursday. And of course, any other information we come across, we will pass your way. We appreciate all of you so much. You're watching our content, subscribers, just everyone. You guys are amazing, and we are so thankful that you're part of our family. And like I said before, even though we do have Assassin's Creed coming up, Cyberpunk, we have so many different games we're going to be doing content for. Ghost of Tsushima, which we're doing now. We will always do stuff in the Division for our base. You guys are awesome, and we love you. As I said earlier, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. But most importantly, as always, take care, be kind, and we'll chat with you soon. Thanks again, everyone.